afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone had a good lunch. We're gonna do a warm-up activity, so I need a few people who would like to do it with me to come up here, please. You can just come up if you want to do it. And if you aren't doing it, you can stand up and like around. Okay, go ahead and take off one of your shoes. Okay, you're gonna take cream. You're gonna put it in between your toes and try to write your name on the paper.
Oh.
However you think you can do it, you can't use your hands to write on the paper.
We're writing our names.
Your name, yeah. Okay, so what did you guys find hard trying to do this? And if you guys can answer too, what did you see them finding hard?
I don't have control.
Yeah.
Like the crayon kept slipping under.
Correct.
My fingers weren't holding it.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything different that we saw or noticed or anything?
They were struggling.
They were struggling. Okay, how did it feel like when you were trying to do it? Like, were there any?
I got very frustrated because, you know, it just, my foot was cramping. It was hurting really bad. So,
Everyone else kind of agree
Yeah.
with that? Okay, when you think about doing this activity, what kind of skill do you think you're using?
touch.
Okay. What you use here is actually called fine motor skills. So the way that I think about fine motor skills is going to be your smaller muscles in your body. So a better way to think about it is if you pick up a pencil or whatever and you actually wrote, that's using a fine motor skill because you're using the little muscles to do something. Just jump rope normally, how you would normally jump rope. Okay, go.
Okay, I'm not sure.
It's a little short, it's a kid's one.
Maddie's too tall.
I'm too tall. I'm too tall for this. Okay. Thank you. Okay, what skills do you guys think you used when you were jump roping? Or anyone else, what skills did they use? You think it's fine motor skills? Big muscles? You're on the right track. Fine is going to be the small muscles, since they were using their whole body.
Obtuse motor skills.
No, they were using what's called gross motor skills. So your gross motor skills are going to be your big motions, such as jump roping or hopscotching or things that takes more of your body than just the little muscles that are in your hands. Okay. The objective of today is to know, by the time you walk out of this classroom, you should know the difference between fine motor skills and gross motor skills. I use the activity so we can kind of get an idea, but we're going to take a deeper dive into what they are. So fine motor skills, as I said earlier, they're more of like the smaller muscles in our hands. Think of writing, like things that you do with your hands, eating. You don't really think about it because we're naturally like able to do it, but some people struggle to do it, or younger kids struggle to do it. So the actual definition for fine motor skills is the ability to make movement using the small muscles in your hands or wrists. Gross motor skills are going to be the big things. So jumping, walking, things like that. Skills that require full body movement and involve a large core stabilization muscle of the body to perform everyday tasks. So when you're doing a task, just think what your whole body uses, not just the little muscles. How to remember the difference if you're struggling with that. Gross, I think of big because you're using your big muscles in your body. And then fine, I think of small, like little things that you're using. Brainstorm. We're going to come up with some examples of fine motor skills. What do we got?
Brushing your teeth.
Okay, there's one. What else?
Tying your shoes.
Tying your shoes, yeah, that's another one. I see those brains churning.
Picking up like little things off the desk.
Yep. What are you holding?
Scissors.
Scissors, you're going to use those little things. Okay, now gross motor skills, big body movements. What are some examples of those? What you got?
Running.
Running? Yeah.
Swimming.
Swimming? Yeah. Lifting weights? Yeah.
Diving.
Diving? Yep, there you go. You used those yesterday. Now you're going to have the opportunity to do 9 different stations and be able to do different activities so you can think about which motor skills you're actually using. There's going to be 2 to 3 per group. We're going to have 3 minutes at each station. There's 1 station in the hall and the other 8 are in here. I'll tell you when to rotate. At each station there is a station card. It gives you exact instructions of what you're supposed to be doing. If you have any questions, you can obviously ask me. And then also, while you're at the station, I just have a worksheet that you're going to fill out. It just says what skills are you using for each station, and then how did you know that you were using the skills. For example, if you're cutting, you're using fine motor skills because you're using the smaller muscles in your hands to do the task. Something like that. So I'm going to pass out the papers and then we can get into your groups.
Take away some cards and place it through the holes with your dominant hand. The other card makes it through the holes with your non-dominant.
We're using our fine motor skills.
Don't forget to use your right hand.
I thought you were trying.
So when you're doing this, what kind of skills do we think we're using?
Probably fine.
Because we're using our smaller. Did you say gross?
Oh wait, no, that.
We're using our fine motor skills because you're going to use the little
Yeah.
muscles in your hands. And the restraint that you put on is kind of if you were like a kindergartner or a first grader trying to do these, because it would be a little bit harder for them because they don't have those skills developed as much as you would, obviously, as we saw you easily put them on. Yeah, make sure you're filling out your paper, please. The station cards have a station number on the top of them. You guys good over here?
Yeah.
Yep. There you
No,
go.
it's
Thank you.
normally. And then you're not.
I think we're safe.
Sorry, there's not that much room. What skill are you using? Gross motor skills. There you go.
You're jumping.
There you go. I feel like it takes a lot more focus too. Because you can usually stack them without paying attention. So think about being a younger kid trying to stack them. We think they're easy, but they're hard to pull apart.
This is your gross motor skills. Because you're common.
Oh wait, hold on.
Okay.
That one?
When you guys get to that station, just do it on the back because I don't have enough.
No. Look at us, Logan. Talking about string.
What did we think about the stations? What did we find difficult? What did we find easy? What did we overall think?
It was fun.
It was fun.
Those beads.
The beads,
I
yeah.
couldn't lace through the string.
Yeah.
Like
I think the beads were the hardest, yeah.
Yeah.
So like think about if you're like a kindergartner or a first grader and your teacher's like string the beads. We sit there and we think it would be something that's so simple, but it's really not because those fine motor skills aren't fully developed in there yet, or like writing, kind of like how we sat on the ground and used a crayon. Those fine motor skills aren't there yet. For gross motor skills, something like the hula hoop or the hopscotch in here is a little bit harder when you had to do it on something you weren't as comfortable with. So that kind of represents if you were a younger kid trying to do it. In the hallway right now, and someone asked you what the difference between fine and gross motor skills and how they affect kids in the classroom. You're gonna all put your heads down, close your eyes. You're gonna give me a thumbs up if you think you're good at it, if you think you could do it, a thumbs down if you don't understand it, or a middle if you're kind of like, ooh, I think I could kind of do it. Okay, go ahead and put your thumbs how you want them so I know. Perfect, you can put your thumbs down and your heads up. Good job, thank you. Okay, the bell's about to ring, so on the way out, make sure you put your sticky note on the door and you can give me your papers so we can collect them. Okay, we're gonna do an exit slip and I'm gonna give you sticky notes and you're gonna write the answers to the question on it. Why is it important for teachers to understand what fine and gross motor skills students can do at the elementary level? So think about if you're in the classroom teaching, why it's important for you to know if kids are able to write their name or not, or put beads on something, how that can impact how you teach and how you lesson plan. And then when you walk out of the classroom, you're gonna put it on the door frame. It's called a parking lot exit slip. Put it on the door frame, and then I'll check them. Put your name on it, please, too. So we finished up our exit slip. What is something that like you overall took away from this? Like when you walked in the classroom, you didn't really know, or something you go home and tell your parents about. Ooh, I learned this today in TPA. What about? Go ahead, Riley.
I learned that it's harder for like younger kids opposed to older kids. Like usually people get frustrated for them not being able to do certain things, but it opened my eyes to see like they don't have the capabilities because they're not fully developed.
Yep, that's something that I learned too. Anything else? Have a good day.
Too.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Have fun at diving, you two.
Thanks.
So much fun.